As I suspected, 32 flavors.
Try the sauce. I'm soaked in it.
Oh, I could lick you all day long.
And yet,
Good evening, everybody. Yes, I did hold on to an awkward pause of Mad Mardigan. How are you all doing tonight? Thank you, one and all. Hope you're having a good Friday night. Hello, and let's see what's going on here. Pete O'Shea's Helicopter Tours, FKHC 2005, Snortopoopus Cuber, Vulcan lives. Papa Cotton, D. Bud Martin, 5 picoseconds, Jonathan Conroy. Welcome early, dude. So, yeah, obviously, we're going to talk Wolverine Weapon X from Barry Windsor-Smith, written and illustrated. And of course, we'll talk about some of the unenthusiastic announcements that was going on DC and poke fun and laugh. And of course, we'll talk about some of the new releases that came out this week, like Nemesis Rose Gallery, Flash, Flash Gordon #1. What's up in Blazing 64? So yeah, there's some cool stuff that came out. I was always gonna say shit. Oh, I just said it right now. But yeah, there's some cool stuff that actually came out this week. Of course, Conan the Barbarian continues. Rook Exodus continues. So yeah, right now I'm the only ones here. So you're kind of stuck with me for a few minutes until Pablo and Caster get here. But anyways, yeah, shout out to Clobby because RIP to our friend and legend Clobby. So as we wait for our dudes, we got a package here from my friend Sean Estep. And I don't know what's in this package, but it's diabolically huge. And well, we should see what is inside as we. Oh, here we go. Here we go. All right. We'll have the drinks after, dudes. And of course, we'll talk Weapon X after. But let's see what Mr. Sean said. Because, and out there, if you're out there, commenting is dangerous. I did get your sweet gift in the mail, which, by the way, Commenting is Dangerous sent me a really badass Hanna-Barbera shirt that had characters like the Herculoids on it, the Dino Mutt. I will wear it next Friday night. It is such a killer shirt. Commenting is Dangerous. Seriously, thank you, my friend. It is an incredible shirt. I was gonna wear it, but it looks like well, my better half, she beat me to it and got going on laundry. So I was just like, okay. Whoa, dude, Sean. All right, I apologize for the volumes, but guys, you guys, oh, wow, holy mackerel! I'm gonna say that looks like John Romita Jr. probably when he was in his prime doing a cover. And I could see Mysterio and like a lot of the lines. That looks like a John Romita Jr. So it looks like, yeah, it looks like Romita Jr.'s prime, but holy crap, Sean, this box is loaded, guys. Okay, so we're doing an unboxing to start things off. Oh, dude. Morbius. Dude, this is nuts. Okay, this is kind of freaking awesome. It says dog squeaker toy. I don't got a dog, but I don't care if he ain't squeaks. But dude, I got Morbius. I'm just gonna put it on the bed right by my despicable mean minion. Sean, you are a madman. Oh no, dude, my favorite villain, Mysterio. Another dog squeaker. Oh. What's up, dearest? I got 2 dog squeaker toys. One day when I do have a dog, we're talking about getting a corgi one day. I guess they're going to have a Morbius and a Mysterio. But this is nuts. Dude. Sean, you are insane. No, my, wow. What do you get from Hobby Lobby, man? Uh, guys, this is coming out, dude. D-Bud, clarification. Favorite Spider-Man villain. I apologize. Yes, the Condor would be very, very dismissive of that, but he's my favorite Spider-Man villain. And last but not least, oh, dude. See, some people would be unenthused about this, but for me, I'm enthused because it's the Jack Kirby, The Eternals. This has the original issues 1 through 19 and the annual, which me and Clobby, along with Mark D of the Sea, we did a review on right before the awful movie came out of this original Jack Kirby run, which I actually like this run. Seriously, I actually do like. It's not like a comic that reinvents the wheel story-wise, but it's a lot of fun. It's a good, solid comic, and this has some of my favorite Jack Kirby art in the history of ever, ever. Seriously, this is awesome. So I'm looking forward to rereading this again. Dude, Sean, you are the man. You hooked up a brother and then some. Just got to make sure I don't accidentally toss this out. That looks like that's a wrap. And there's a... Sean, you are mad, sir. Oh, man. Okay, we're gonna let in Iron Caster while I cut off this thing. But, dude, Caster, so I'm sure you saw the Eternals, you saw the Thing. Sean Estep also sent me these 2 dog squeaky toys. Which the project
is that Mysterio and Morbius?
Morbius, yeah. I got these great stickers as well, wall decals. Yeah. Dude.
I approve.
And he gave me a John Romita Jr. drawing of Spider-Man. You see the fists of Rhino. You can see the bolt of Electro, Mysterio's head as well. That's going to be Kraven's head in the back as well. Doc Ock's tentacle up at the top. So, yeah. Sean, I owe bigly, massively bigly for this one because he is the man. But, Caster, how are you doing, sir?
I am doing fantastic. I had a nice, calm, relaxed week. I took the whole thing off for my birthday yesterday and decided to just kind of lay back and go read some good books.
Mm-hmm. So, happy birthday, by the way, guys. Caster's birthday was yesterday, along with Pablo. So when Pablo gets there, you tell him happy birthday too. But he didn't tell us until the word got to me. I was like, that bastard had the undecency to not tell us. I had to find out through everyone else. What the hell?
Well, that way I know you couldn't pull anything for it.
I would have too. I would have too. Oh man,
that's right. We'll get it covered come Christmas when we probably exchange Christmas cards or something.
Okay,
but
whoa, that tossing in the box. Okay, I got a sweet mini note too to round this up. Hail, Nick Weiser. I just want to send a few tokens of appreciation for the huge amount of fun and entertainment you help bring to your fans. Hope you enjoy and have a great summer. Your fan and friend, Sean Estep. Sean, I'm hooking the brother up bigly for this. Bigly. This is going to go up on the wall. Thank you, Sean. I'm between you and Commenting is Dangerous. I'm in debt to you guys. Oh, yeah, by the way, Caster, Commenting is Dangerous sent me a sweet Hanna-Barbera shirt that had Dynamut, the Herculoids, Space Ghost on there, Birdman. And it's a very badass, 80s, 90s comic art style design shirt. I'm going to wear it next Friday night, but dude, you'll love it. Seriously. I was going to wear it tonight, but then I'm like, looks like someone beat me to get into the laundry done. So next week it'll be. So, and then 5 Picoseconds, who's been a member for 6 months, says, you hype for Rebel Moon Extended? Let's chalice our blood and curse our forgiveness. No. Why are we doing? You guys are not letting this go, and it's really weirding me the hell out.
Nick loves it.
We didn't even talk about meat, not even to make fun of it. And granted, I know Deadpool and Wolverine, officially releases like nationally today, but we still didn't just care. Not even on Tuesday, we just didn't care. Like right now, we're at that stage where we're beyond past giving a fuck. Like I can't remember. Yeah, seriously, I can barely remember talking about what's it called? Blah blah blah. See, I'm already forgetting its name. Rebel Moon Part 1 and 2. Like it just feels like such a far distant memory. That's how good I've been at distancing myself from the filth per se. But it's gonna it is. Yeah, peak for me to puke all over and you all laughing at my expense. Hey, what's up, Red Shirt? My Toxic Tuesday partner. I can't wait to be talking Josie Wales with you for the comeback of Toxic Tuesday. What's up, Steve Mitchum? Dude, I will always love this name. I mean, it's absolutely undeniable. Can't beat it. Absolutely the best. Kawasaki Olympics. With that. Oh, yeah, I saw that whole thing. They were doing that whole religious thing. I was just like, I saw like photos. I didn't get the full context of all, but I was just like, this looks dumb. So I don't care about that stuff. I don't care. And yes, I probably would make more money than Netflix. Maybe that's true. I'd probably make about $10 more. And that's $10 that I can make somewhere else. Because Rebel Moon just seems like it's at a worse stage of apathy than Star Wars is right now.
So I got a couple of books this week. I thought I would take a moment just real briefly to show off that I picked up, that I got.
You'll show them off. Because I picked up books this week as well. And I had some of that were arrivals. One that I forgot I ordered in March of 2022. Yeah.
So these aren't my normal like weekly comic shop books, but these are like graphic novels I got in the mail that I've been waiting on for a little while. So first, I've been in a bit of a Tolkien mood lately, and so I'm looking around like yeah, I got a little. I picked up like a nice hardcover copy of the books, and I'm like, well, what else is there? I'm like, well, yeah, there's this Hobbit thing, and wait, there's a comic.
Ooh. Wow. Chuck Dixon did. Yeah, I remember Chuck Dixon did it. Yeah, that's true. I remember he did that. Dude, that is. Oh, look at that. Oh, here, I'm zooming in on you, Kester. And while we're zooming on that art, welcome, Pablo. Howdy ho! Oh, that art is nice. That's what else did you get?
Oh, so just one other book I'm going to show off, and it is it comes from the realm of your indie comic scene, but it has been one of the most consistently outputting teams out there, which has been putting out a little series called Common America.
Oh, yeah. You've been championing this one bigly.
And not only that, they delivered an action figure.
Nice.
Yeah, I remember seeing the campaign for this one. Yeah, it looked really cool. Very toxic. Very, very toxic.
I mean, plus it's a series that's been getting picked up by by getting picked up in Japan, getting a lot of recognition there. So this is an American book that's gone into and has seemed to have captured some attention over in Japan. So it's inspired by their media and is going back and is now being picked up by them.
Nice.
That is a good sign. That is a really good sign.
Very good sign. That's fantastic, man. So I love to hear.
I got something. I just came from watching Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I got a little something from the movie. They didn't have buckets. Actually, the bucket that they were selling here was quite different. But they were selling this. So I'm really happy.
Oh, his hands. His hands are the controller. I see it.
No, it's straight up a keychain of the hands. It's just
I see. Yeah, I see.
it's absolutely perfect. It
Yeah.
was $5, and they were almost out of it. So it was before seeing the movie. It was like, yeah, I'll just for it. After seeing the movie, I was like, God damn, I'm so happy I have this.
Nice.
It was good.
So yeah, should we take just a couple minutes to talk about the movie? Like,
Yes, we should.
After we talk Weapon X, I think we do have work to
Okay.
talk about, but we will cover it a little bit because there's enough comic respects in it that I do think it's worthy of discussion, at least from the comic book perspective. Because I know I was on Midnight's Edge last night and Comics Division's Thursday Night Throwdown, and it definitely is one of those movies where the more inside baseball you have, especially if you're a comic fan or a Fox Universe fan, you're probably the ones that are going to benefit the most from this. Like, for real. And I feel like even me with basic X-Men knowledge, and I have to emphasize the word basic, I got a lot of these things, and there were things I recognize, and I feel like I ate it up more than the average normie would. So, it is what it is. But I feel like as a fan, we definitely appreciate it more. So, yeah. No, we'll get into it. It's going to be great. It's going to be fantastically diabolical. And we'll even get into some of this week's releases as well. But before we do, I ordered this back in March of 2022. And so when I got in the mail to, I was like, okay, I recognize this company. It's the company that I've gotten comics like the Mythicals from Nexus as well, Nexus Scourge. But what else could be there? I'm like, I know it's not Battle Brick Road. I know it's not Groken 3. So I'm like, what could it be? And well, lo and behold,
Nice.
from that umbrella guy. And yeah, I had totally forgotten. Like, I was just like, holy crap. I straight up forgot I backed this back in March of 22. I looked up today to find out when I backed it. Yeah, I backed it in March 2022. It looked like the estimate release, because I didn't keep track of his stuff, but looked like he was hoping to get it out last year, but apparently he had some personal stuff that caused him to not do it. And it looks like he did communicate on that. But I was like, okay, well, now I see what happened. I just forgot, but hey, I look forward to reading it. I hope that it's good. And if I find it good, maybe I'll try to get him on for it. What's up?
I had picked up the second book, and I enjoyed it well enough. I think I kind of forgot all about it, in all honesty.
Mm-hmm. Well,
but I mean, it's just a good little humble story about ultimately, like, Tug and his daughter going around hunting monsters.
Well, I think as a dad, I think I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to get a little bit more extra value out of that then. Cool. I'm looking forward to it then. All right, let's see here. We got, whoa, our favorite polar bear just became a channel member. What? Not only did Snortopoopus Cuber become a member, dude, you need to be dude, what? Snortopoopus, you became a balls to the wall. Balls to the wall. Member. Thank you, Snortopoopus. I appreciate it, sir. Thank you. You are a balls to the wall member. Except to be very proud of you for that. So, cheers and beers to you, sir. So, what's your pup in your hand got to say about that?
Oh, just this little seal came to say hi to Snortopoopus. Shows appreciation for the support, and also because hopefully it means he won't eat them today.
Oh yeah, I thought you were showing him a snack.
Sorry. Okay.
So, dudes, are we ready to talk Wolverine, Weapon X, Barry Windsor-Smith? I think it's safe to say we're ready. I think it's safe to say now that we're hey, Tyrannus Cygnus, you're right on time for the party. We're going to talk some Wolverine Weapon X Barry Windsor-Smith for the next half hour, 40 minutes. And then we'll have a free fry for the next hour and a half after that. So I'm ready. Are you guys ready?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm fucking ready.
So
You got something to say, so go ahead. Let it
oh,
out.
I just thought that kind of going into this, I think it'd be better to maybe let you go ahead and start this out, since this is a storyline. While that you're a lot newer to, that you're not as well versed in. You've probably picked it up from the various superhero media, because this is one of the three major Wolverine stories that is always drawn upon.
Yeah. It was very, even though I had never read this particular story before, I recognize many aspects of it because of how adapted it's brought into other mediums. So it was familiar in that regard. However, I still had a lot of fun with it, and it felt very suspenseful. It felt very almost like a thriller. I would say it was definitely like a thriller type of movie, which I like. I really enjoyed that. It wasn't like, it's really heavy on just the banter between the two evil scientists. Really, it's really a banter off between the two, with a little bit of stuff from Hines. Wolverine doesn't have many words in it, and I think there's even several pages where the art just does the storytelling, and you have to, every time when you notice that too, there's a little emphasis on more details on those pages where it's just the art. So you can notice there's a extra attention to detail on those specific pages where it's just all art. And I think that works out beautifully, the beneficial elements of the story, especially for artists who like to write. There are times where they like to let their own art do the storytelling. And for Mr. Smith, that definitely works his favor. And I could definitely tell too, like, especially since I'm familiar more of his art precedingly from stuff like Conan, I could definitely see some Conan elements in some of Wolverine's facial expressions. I could see some of the Conan the Barbarian in it. So there are times I thought about Conan, which is cool. Of course, the art was absolutely fantastic. And it's shockingly a quick read, even though it's basically 8 pages drawn from Marvel Team Up 72 through 83. It's 8 pages of each issue, which makes sense because of Barry's art. A lot of that art is really detailed. And I can imagine 8 pages was probably the most realistic way of getting that out monthly with the other stories. It was cool to see what some of the other monthly stories with, including that there was a Firestar story in some of the issues. And there was also a Captain America story in few of the issues, written and drawn by Sir Steve Ditko as well in some of those issues. Because I read this the old-fashioned way, not the trade way. But I did get a hold of it for when we view it live, because that just looks nicer on the screen with the refurbished colors. But I really enjoyed also, it really felt like Wolverine as most maniacal, primal, monstrous form. Like there was almost like a horror aspect too, like with the monster vibe too, like this beast who could not be tamed. He's nothing more than a lab rat. I really appreciate that aspect of it. And it's really well self-contained too. If you're somehow, I feel like Wolverine's origin is almost one of those stories that like even some normies know, not like Spider-Man or Superman, Batman level known. But I guess if you had to guess, he's probably in 4th or 5th place, maybe above or slightly behind Iron Man. You decide on the rankings of that. Maybe even arguably Captain America. But he's one of those recognizable origin stories. This comic is very accessible. You can read this story on its own and feel brought to speak. Even though it's a very familiar story, but you can also read it as just like, wow, okay, this is its own thing, even though it's part of the continuity. So Barry Windsor-Smith gets a lot of points for making this story not only accessible, and it's pretty much the only mutant in this entire story. And it only takes place over the sum of a few days. Only the sum of a few days.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing with this book. While it's a Wolverine story, it's really about the scientist that made him into took this wild animal of a man and turn him into a far deadlier killing machine than he was.
Mhm.
And it's interesting because it's done in a way that feels so sterile. Because they're talking about this as just sort of a matter of shop talk, like, oh, we have to make sure we do this incision, and we got to make sure we have to hurry up with these procedures because otherwise the subject healing factor is going to kick in and is going to heal up around where we're working. And ultimately so the intent is to make a controllable killer, basically a weapon they could drop into a hot zone and they can control on command. Basically turning into a biological drone. And you get to see that old adage of the folly of man in trying to play God.
Yeah, there are timeless tropes in here, which shows you that no matter how many timeless tropes you can play, you can always find fresh ways of repackaging it and still making a familiar idea feel fresh. Once again, it has that old horror idea of the monster aspect of trying to create a monster and seeing how much you can get away with controlling it. So even though it's not a horror story at all, I would call it more of a thriller story. That aspect that we see of trying to tame the beast is something that we know of and is synonymous ultimately with a lot of horror-based stories, creating this this unkillable machine and
Also,
doing whatever it takes to bend it to your will.
There's just this bit at the beginning where you can actually see Logan before everything. And Logan was just human. You could see his normal life. You could see that he was trying to adjust society. He was just going to a bar, drinking, and not messing with anyone, just being there, right? In the X-Men movies, they paint it as he was offered this, or he even volunteered for this. But here you see that it was just a normal guy that they decided to take, and that's it. So it's even darker. If you understand that he was just a man, the beast that they create feels even more terrifying because they had the intent of breaking a man into a puppet, and they almost created a monster. And we know they didn't. They actually created something greater than any human, and not really a monster. But at this point, when he goes absolutely berserk, he's the closest to a monster that you can never have. Is a man full of rage. So yeah, is the experiment itself, the whole process is absolutely terrifying.
Agreed. Strongly agreed. Yeah, I love that this story is this really straightforward, simple story. Once again, it reads very quickly. That I feel like because it reads quickly, you gotta go back and absorb some of the details. And I don't know if I count this as a flaw, and maybe this could be a me problem, but it took me about 2 or 3 issues for me to understand the narrating bubbles. Once I understand that the color of the bubbles were according to the colors of the shirts for 2 of the scientists. And that's how I caught on. It took me, and like I said, that could be a me problem. I didn't catch on until then. I'm like, okay, I'm kind of confused at the bubble. Also, the way that Barry Windsor-Smith likes to go down and up with his dialogue too. I'm not used to that type of format with the lettering and the dialogue, but I thought it was interesting. Once I caught on. It took me a few issues to adjust because his layouts and his lettering layouts are a little different. But once I got in the swing of it, it took me 2-3 issues. But once you get that, though, it's all smooth sailing after that.
It makes sense.
It does.
Have you ever been after or during an operation in your lifetime, and you are under the drugs, and you can still hear the medics. You can still hear everything. It's just not coherent. It's just shapeless, and everything is like shadows, and you just feel there. Well, that is what you get from this comic. It's basically everything from what Logan is hearing, right? So he's absolutely unattached. He's hearing the scientists talking so cleanly, as you said, so sterile of everything. They are just going through a procedure. They are just saying which step they are doing and how they need to do it, and it's emotionless. While you see the transformation and while you see Logan fading out of consciousness time and time again, so it feels more like from his perspective than from the perspective of the scientist.
Yeah. And that's something that I definitely was catching on to a few issues, and that the story was mainly from their perspective and not Wolvie's perspective. But I feel like because it was from their perspective, it actually felt that much more terrifying. Because when you're seeing it from Wolvie's perspective, you're thinking more of a like, yeah, kill those sons of bitches. But when you're seeing it from the scientist's perspective, it feels like, oh crap, what did we create?
Yeah,
This
but
thing could
during
kill us. So you feel more of the suspense along with the scientist. Whereas when you're Wolverine, you're the killer, so you don't feel as much suspense. You're excited, but you're not feeling like scared and tense.
yeah, they give you Wolverine's perspective when he's in the table, when he is a machine, just killing. Obviously, they give you the horror on the scientist. So it's a nice contrast because at the beginning you can see the scientists as the monsters. If you read every single step of the procedure and the way that they are talking about it, they are absolutely horrendous people. This is the kind of people that should not be allowed near animals, let alone humans. And
Yeah, you've got
yeah,
you've got the doctor is straight up evil. He's willing to do this to another human being, but then you have the assistants who are just, while more morally ambiguous, it's like they may not necessarily be as willing to do it. They still go along with this all the same.
yep.
They have just as much culpability in it. So you got to remember, like, even if you might feel bad for them, at the end of the day, they were willing to stand by and let evil like this happen. That even if they couldn't have done anything about it, the fact that they still went along with it, that they still got the blood on their hands in this.
Oh yeah, they're
helped
complicit.
make him this monster. Yes,
You're complicit. And that's something that like Hines was just like, hey, are we the bad guys here? Because this seems like a really odd thing to do. And one of the guys was like, well, yeah, kind of, sort of, not. And I was just like, oh boy. The minute when you try to like say, well, it's not bad, we're doing it this way. It's a whole like just we're doing the same action, but just change the wording around to try to justify and rationalize your reason. That's when
it's semantics.
you're the bad guy to me.
No,
Mix words around to try to reason your position. You're the villain in my.
I have some technical questions because obviously this was a procedure, and in any procedure you need to map the area where you are working, no matter what. And they get surprised by Wolverine's clothes.
Okay, real
They
quickly.
didn't do an X-ray.
Yes, I know he's a government project. I get that, volunteer, but to this extent, no one was volunteering for something to be like that. Yes, Logan was down in his life, but not in the regard that he has become this killing machine. Anyways, I want to acknowledge a few great faces here. Phantom Outsider, of course. How you doing, sir? Mars Monkey Max, Dave C, Volume Dealer, Mr. Vince Womack. Welcome, dudes. So the Canadian government makes one question real quick. When you're trying to do this to a guy, yeah, all it takes is one. That's all it takes is one. Yeah. I mean, if a guy comes up to you and it's just one guy at a convenience store and he gives you business, and all of a sudden 5 minutes later he abducts you in the face, like, well, no, I'd say he's a pretty bad man because he's just because he gave you business doesn't mean he is justified to punch you in the face.
I have a question.
What's up, Conan? By Crom. We
When
got Nerd here though.
Jesse, your beard is green.
It is. It is green. That was actually a little bit of a trial run of something that'll be premiered fully tomorrow. So our local Corpus Christi Comic-Con opened up today.
Wow.
So we went over there to hang out for a little bit this evening, and I've got goodies. I've got goodies to show off later.
Good.
As well.
Good.
I also see that you're also rocking some One Piece rep.
I am. Okay,
Nice.
so funny story. We got our dryer fixed when we moved over to the new house. The washer's broke now. So yeah, that's always how it goes, right?
Yeah.
So the wife went up to the laundrette this morning, and we were going to con, and we're going to dress up tomorrow. But I was like, I need a nerd shirt, and so it just so happened like the first one because our dryer works, so we just brought it back from the laundromat and threw it in the dryer. And so the first shirt I actually pull out that was actually one of mine. I was like, oh, look at that. The one she got was the One Piece one. So yeah, so she wore her Star Wars shirt and I wore my One Piece one.
Nice.
But
I love
I'll
it.
tell more about that later. I don't want to interrupt this lovely comment. Did we have homework this week? I didn't realize we had homework this week.
Yeah.
Said last week on the show when you're on.
Damn it. I forgot.
But
It's been
I
crazy.
still have a question about what you were talking about, the government becoming evil just with one thing. Aren't governments always evil?
Yes, that's another thing. There's no such thing in history outside, especially in real life, where the government are the good guys. You can make an argument as far as fiction, and trust me when I say, I don't want to say I was a fan of government as a kid, but when I grew up on movies like Air Force One and Independence Day, it kind of gave me this impression that there's a lot of good people in government. Then reality kicked in. I was just like, it's kind of like that whole like the government that you bought off of a Wish than government in real life. I wish for the government from Air Force One Independence Day. What a guy in real life is, well, you're seeing what's happening now. I don't want to go down that well, but a lot of you in the chat know my thoughts on that. I don't want.
Oh yeah, but if you
steer
ever want
away
to go
for-
into the well of Independence Day, I mean, I really
the
love
president
that
that movie is
fucking movie.
awesome. The president of that movie is absolutely awesome. To me, I was
He's
like,
got one of the
to me, that's what
best
presidents
speeches.
were.
Dude, he's got one of the best speeches in like cinema
Yes.
history for presidents, dude. Like, our Independence Day, the world's Independence Day. Like, oh, yeah.
Man,
I was
and
reading
because
it on
it's about the world's Independence Day, even people here in Ecuador were cheering about that fucking speech.
Dude, it is that powerful. It's such a universally beloved speech. And the funny part is, not only did that movie was it the biggest movie in America in 1996, it made even better bonkers money overseas. So let that sink in, that a very Americana movie not only did Big League, the biggest movie in the year, 96, Big League, the biggest movie, but it did even massiver overseas. So it's safe to say that all the other markets were eating up an Americana movie even more than the Americans were. The Americans ate that movie till they're full, but the overseas people were like, nah, bitch, we're still hungry. Thanksgiving ain't over for us.
Man, Americana is our fantasy. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Is something so outlandish, so incredible. You see these amazing houses. People are just so happy. They are full of things to eat that so amazing, incredible. And you are in Latin America just watching that, sitting in your $3 plastic chair that most likely will break before you fall into the ground in the most horrendous way possible. But who cares, because you are watching it on your tube TV that was inherited from your grandparents, and you're watching the Americans and you're like, I want to be fucking there. I want so much to be fucking there. I want to eat those burgers. I will tell you, as a kid that grew in that kind of world, seeing Americana is just fucking amazing. So yeah, we love it. We just love it.
Pablo, we're gonna have to like get an RV put together, and we are just have to go like travel the country. and see all the Americana. Just get all the get all the 50 flavors of it.
Oh, I love that.
Don't get me
we've got
wrong.
more than 50 flavors to give him. I promise you.
My country and the region has progressed way further than you could imagine since I was a kid. But still, you see some things on the US and you go like, man, that's bananas. I want that shit.
Okay, we got a super chat I will acknowledge before we continue talking Wolverine Weapon X. Brandon, the anime guy, how you doing, bud? For $5. Thank you, Brandon. Says, gentlemen, manga is life, but I'm thinking about getting the following short series. Kingdom Come thoughts. Here's my thought in 1 minute. It's a great story written by Mark Waid, who's an absolute top tier, god tier level psycho. He's out of 1 to 10, he's at a 10 of psycho, but he's at an 8 for writing. So he's a really good writer who's also full blown psycho. And if you're buying an old Mark Waid story, that's a good way to stick with, because he does not deserve any money going forward at all. And of course, Alex Ross's art is absolutely fantastic, but that's like, obviously saying like, the snow is white, water's wet, Superman's Clark Kent. We all know that. A good story, good one and done story. So I'd say, yeah, definitely a recommend. Just as long as it's old Mark Waid and not new Mark Waid, all in, brother. All in. Thank you again for the 5.
Chances are, by the way, you were already blocked by Mark Waid.
Shockingly, I'm not. I looked a few days ago. I'm not blocked by Mark Waid. I don't know how, but I was like, wow,
Man,
how did this happen?
Keep a low profile. I will tell you, because there's a lot of times where I need a screen cap or something from Twitter, and I know Tom is blocked, Andrew is blocked. I'm not. They don't know who I am. I'm a phantom. I can see what you are doing, bitches.
And yeah, and I've heard that like basically DC is promoting him while they're trying to revert back to their old logo. We'll get into a little bit of that later, but they don't deserve my money, and especially with Mark Waid involved, I'm just no, just absolutely no. But anyways, dudes, let's continue on with the story, because man, I'll tell you what, this is why I feel like a lot of this art feels like it borders on the thread, because there's a lot of panels on here that are very very, very unsettling with some of the details. Yeah, very visceral. It's just like, holy crap. Like you see him with all these freaking things pointing at his back, and the way they emphasize the claws that they come out, you actually feel like you can not only hear them come out of his skin, but you can feel the pain as they come out of his skin. The way the claws come out in this story, it kind of hits a little different than the way it does going forward. It kind of hits a little different. It feels like there's a little added tension to when the claws come out. Once again, that thriller horror thing going on, where you're just like, oh crap.
Well, also the extra added lines in the book about how while he's like in this kind of semi-conscious state, he can still feel all the pain.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, like, he is just in constant agony throughout this entire book.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, and with that in mind, it makes the ultimate berserker rage just that much more satisfying ultimately, because you know that for all this pain, he's going to make some people, feel just a fraction of what they put him through.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I agree. You got anything to add to that, Pablo?
Yeah, there's a scene that came to my mind when they are talking how they unplugged the life support, and that's how they managed to control him the first time he went berserk.
Mm-hmm.
I have a really important question.
What's your
How
question?
long did they had before Logan regenerated past the point where life support is absolutely meaningless and he went back into a berserker rage? How fast did they have to act to actually subdue him again?
Well, that's one of the things with Wolverine, is that his healing factor is basically over time has been slowly like accelerated with the comics, because at first it would be a matter of wounds that should take him out for weeks would recover in days, but as time has gone on, that rate has only sped up. So it just really kind of thanks to years of Chris Claremont writing and
Yeah,
other
but
people who have come in and taken over that mantle.
here, as they express here in the comic, the speed is so fast that if they do an incision to operate, they have to force it open because it will just close instantly. So the regenerative factor here is absolutely broken. They
I
cut
like-
the life support, and that's okay. You basically kill the access to oxygen, to maybe something else. Maybe you are circulating the blood, but it's Wolverine. His heart will start pumping right away, and he will be really, really angry. Is that the kind of questions that a nerd gets reading this, man?
What's up, Boris? I love how when they first put him into the setup, he's bald, and then Hines, she points out, she's like, "Holy crap! Look at his head of hair already." That's when they caught on to his regenerating ability. He went from
I
being
told you to
bald
shave him.
to freaking like he not only had long hair in his head, his sideburns had long hair too. It was like, wow, he was like.
He just naturally got a mullet.
Austin Powers wishes he could be that hairy. Austin Powers dreams of this. And he couldn't do that on his best day. Wolverine did that in a few minutes. That is crazy. And once again, when I said the claws hit, the way they come off, it hits a little different. Look at that. Like you could feel it. I was just like, that is woo. I can feel that, the tension from that. So, oh yeah, absolutely love that. Yeah, and he is not functionally all there in the head. He is killing people left and right. And I love, this is something, I'll talk really quickly about the movie. The pose, the way he walks.
Yes.
It was nice to see that finally done in the movie. And I see that right here. I'm like, that's how Wolverine walks. And I'm a X-Men normie, and I know that.
No, okay. I will.
He's an animal.
Yeah, I will avoid a lot until we talk properly, but I need to say this. Hugh Jackman was absolutely perfect on everything for Wolverine on this. But there was one actor that did it way better for just a few seconds. Got them. Do I say it?
No.
Okay, but you know what I'm saying, and he was the perfect Wolverine. The way that he was acting, the way that he from his face, perfect, just perfect.
What's up, Gonzalo Bergali, Flatus is here. How you doing, guys? And I can't remember if I said, but if I apologize for repetition, but my guy Bull Rush. By the way, Mark Miller responded on Twix and I'm pretty sure he was talking about your comment. He's saying, because he's like, there's a comment on your video, and he says, I gotta show that comment off to all my buddies. And your comment, Bull Rush, about the Nemesis Rose Gallery is, I wonder what it's gotta be like for Mark Miller to wake up and just piss excellence. So I had a big chuckle at that. I was just like, oh, that's great. He's gonna forward that to his buds, that comment. So Bull Rush, you have been seen by Mr. Miller. Just letting you know that, man. You have been seen. So you can't undo the history now. You can't undo the past. So, and that's a good thing you don't want to undo anyway. So, anyways, going forward with the story. Yeah, I love once again, it almost feels like this was trying. Oh, dude, no, seriously. I'm not joking. The tenseness of feeling like, holy crap, look how beastly he is right there. He almost looks like Beast in some aspects because of how fast his hair is coming out. At times he looks like the Beast because of it. And once again, look at the faces, and you can tell there's a little bit of Windsor-Smith's Conan in some of the face. Obviously, not nowhere as bushy of a head of hair, but you can tell there's that masculine face to it. That is the alpha male face. I'm like, that's Conan. That's freaking Conan.
Yep.
It is a very, very, very scary story. Like, even though it's not, once again, it ain't horror, but man, but look at all the insane amount of details on these panels. It is awesome. It is, Windsor-Smith is a freaking master, a straight up master of the arts. And this is definitely a shining moment, if you will. And considering that he did 8 pages on a monthly basis, I think it definitely helped him bring out the best of him to be able to pull off a story like this and have it coincide with other stories. And obviously later on in life, it got collected for a collected edition. And I actually read it the old fashioned way. I could have easily, I found the trades, but I'm like, you know what? I'm going to read this the old fashioned way. So because I'm that guy, I had to read it that way because that's just who I am. It's just who I am. But man, I'll tell you, seriously, look at this pad just with the wires. This is freaking nuts.
He looks like he's being mummified.
Yeah, he does. One of my favorite panels of this entire story. And by the way, guys, for those of you not in the know, this is in the comic Marvel Team Up issues 72 through 84. And 72 through 83 are 8 pages each, whilst the final issue 84 is 24 pages. So it actually is, even though when you hear that amount of issues, it sounds like it's a lot. It's actually really, Marvel Presents. Marvel Comics Presents. Not Marvel Team Up. Marvel Comics Presents. Sorry. I don't know why I said Marvel Team Up. I'm retarded. So yeah, I at least admit that I'm retarded. Now I lost my train of thought, so maybe it wasn't good. You go ahead, say Suncaster, because I'm retarded.
The book overall, like, there's just a constant. One of the things that is kind of sticking out to me as I'm kind of flipping through my copy is the constant use of the color yellow. Like,
I can see that.
Yeah, the colors on every single page as you flip through it, and it's something I hadn't quite really noticed until now. But it's like that seems to be this oddly enough, this very, I don't know if we're gonna kind of go into color theory, like yellow's kind of like a more scientific sort of color to it. There's something about with like the yellow, the lighting associated, but it's an interesting book because, like I said, like we were saying earlier, you don't Wolverine is basically incapacitated for the entirety of the book, and for everything that has come since, they've tried to go and put in other little bits of origin, other little things to say, well, no, his origin was actually like this, and it's like, no, this is like the most definitive piece we need of his history. Like, you really don't. Wolverine's a character you really don't need to have a massive knowledge of where he came from and all this stuff. You just kind of vaguely know that he was part of the Weapons Plus program for a time. He was experimented on, and he's got a rough backstory with all sorts of folks who have come along that he's wronged or have wronged him. Love's lost. That's who Logan is. I don't know, as much as I kind of enjoy some of the other stuff, like the X-Men Origins Wolverine comic, it's answering a question that really shouldn't have been answered. It's ultimately answering a question that should not have ever really had an answer to.
Man,
now, what do you guys think?
I'm watching the panel where you can see Wolverine's skeleton, and it's starting to become a bunch of needles. And god damn, that's nightmarish. Can you imagine feeling needles coming out of your bones, tearing your muscles? Oh, god damn it. You really need to not only read this comic, you need to feel it. Every page, the artist.
It's the kind of hurt you'd never forget. And
Yes.
it's something you can then go and look at every time he's sitting at a bar. With the history we know of Logan, you're probably looking at him wondering which pain is he thinking about, which hurt, which of the many many knives that have been stabbed in his back is he thinking about at the moment.
Yeah.
He's got that 1,000-yard stare that you're always curious about. You're kind of drawn in with, wanting to know like what's his story, what's his pain.
Well, he have seen so much, man. And Wolverine is absolutely fucked up for that. That's why he's always represented as an alcoholic, as somebody that needs to keep so much juice inside. And there's just a couple of characters that have seen inside of his mind, and they are like, oh, fucking no. Oh, fucking no. So, yeah, just imagine being here and just drinking, even though you will get out of that drunk stupor faster than you could ever drink. So you need to choke alcohol.
Just to
But
get the lightest of buzzes.
yeah, god damn. Yeah, this comic sets you with a different outlook at Wolverine, and is something that has been with the character the whole time. It's not something new for the character. He was taking a pounding from the Hulk. You gotta have some trauma afterwards. I'm just saying, you get destroyed by the Hulk. Yeah, you want to maybe drink a bit. And he has been having days like that all his life. The fights with Sabretooth, and Sabretooth is an absolutely beast. Wolverine is savage, but he doesn't tear apart the flesh of his victims just for the fun
For
of the
fun.
fight. Yeah. So, and he grows back every bit of flesh that is torn up. He's still feeling every bit. The character is absolutely fucked up. It's
There's a really good reason why Wolverine was one of those characters that was just in so many books, like to the point where in the comics they were making jokes about like what team is Wolverine not on.
Oh,
you
right.
know,
He's been on every team.
yeah.
Straight
But
up.
that's the thing. That's how they ruined the character, because they were trying to humanize him so much in every single issue.
Yeah, way too
And
much.
he is basically the most human emotion you can ever imagine. Life regret. He's just a ball of life regret.
Yeah, I would agree on that. Once again, amazing art from Mr. Smith. The guy absolutely nailed it. And man, I was just like, it felt like when you're living in the story, it feels like, oh man, this story can go on like forever, because it just feels like so like locked in the moment. And then for it's like, oh crud, it's over. This is another one of my favorite moments, not just like drawing wise, but when he faces off against the wolves, and he goes into slaughter fest against these. So once again, look at the way the claws come out. There was an emphasis when they came out fresh. It was like a holy crap, and he just goes into monster mode, and it's woo, it's glorious. It's good, and it's terrifying. Oh man. And then look at seeing the skeleton too, and then look at crazy hair. Like, man, absolutely monstrously bad freaking ass. I love this story a lot, and it's definitely something that I'm definitely have to own, along with my Claremont Miller Wolverine trade. Maybe one day, if I get into a world where the money's really good, I can try to seek these out on the traditional level. Also, because I was able to read it traditionally. A lot of the first pages of each individual issue, especially later on, more so. Not only could you see Barry's art continue to get a little sharper and more detailed as the story went on. You notice, not only did you notice him getting better as it went on. Oh god, what was it? Oh, I liked how a lot of his first pages started off with a splash. I liked how it was making a theme as every issue went on. The first page started with a splash. I thought it was a nice little small details. Like once again, if you're paying attention to those smaller things, I really like that aspect that they started off with a splash to get the story going. It was like that's a great way if you're reading a comic book, especially if you're a newbie and you want to grab the reader right away. You'll want to start off with something big and like really zoomed in emphasis on to grab the the normie's attention because you want to get them hooked and invested. And I feel like starting off with pages like that is a great way to lure a potential new reader in. I mean, if anyone to me that just seems like that's a good friendly way. It's something that people don't really think about, but I feel like that's a very cool thing to do. And once again, you especially nowadays, I think that means something more than ever with the amount of different forms of media, whether it's social media, video games, obviously movies, shows, streaming on YouTube, game streams, comics, still traditional chapter books, poems, short stories, whatever, pulps. You got to work harder to lure people in. And I think that's one of the most effective techniques of doing, luring the reader in to say, hey, you're in the story now. You're not lost. You're in it. You're caught up, even if you don't know everything. That's what I get. I've seen pages like that. That and a quick recap for particular continuity-driven forms of storytelling. But man, seriously, did you guys notice? Did you notice that the art was getting better? I mean, what do you think, Pablo Castro? Or do you think it just still stayed the same? Because for me, I thought it was getting better as it went on.
There's a bit of stylization, but I will say that panel that you show where you see the eyes, Logan's eyes looking straight at the scientist, I think that is the moment when actually click for the artist.
Yeah.
So afterwards, it becomes way more sharp, way more structured.
Yeah, this to
at
me
the
was the
begin-
turning point too. I
Yeah.
actually had the same thing. This is the turning point for me too.
I think there's a connection done with the artist and the art that finally gelled. So you can see a lot more of the bestiality on Logan. You can see way more horror on the scientist's face. And when you see what Logan is dreaming, and he's dreaming just of using his clothes to kill the scientist.
Oh, I love that. When at first I couldn't tell it was a dream, but then once I caught on, I'm like, oh, I get it now. Oh, we're living in his head now. I'm like, oh, this is wild.
The line definition on the face of the scientist on that gruesome art that's exactly what you are saying. Is getting better, but I think it's more like he can see now what he's drawing, and it's a bit like you don't have exactly in mind what you want to do, so you just work, and then you know exactly what you are doing, so you start to be precise. That's that transformation, and that panel defines everything. And afterwards, you can see Logan is less beastly on his face. When he's fighting the wolves, for example, you can see that his face is more like a man, but you can see everything, the hair and everything is more beastly. So he's not longer trying to make him a beast, he's making a human look like a beast, right? I don't know. I think there was a point where the artist actually understood his work.
Yeah, he started off great, but then became outstanding. That's why I feel like it started off great, but it became sharper and outstanding and cream of the crop as it went on, which I always find that cool because it's like he's saying, okay, get this started, and then but before you know it, now you're in a groove, and now you're riding the wave once you found that groove, and that I like that I noticed his own growth within the story for the art. I thought that was good. It reminded me of when we were noticing it when we were doing the ASM Lee Ditko stuff. We could see Ditko's art slightly changing as it went on. I thought that was really cool. I love it when we notice those things. And in this story, you definitely pick up on that as well. And of course, another one of her fights where he takes on the freaking bear. I was like, holy crap.
All right, so
Go ahead.
I just wanted to ask, what's your favorite of the various costumes you've seen? What's your favorite Wolverine costume? Because
Brown,
the
John Byrne brown and yellow suit is my favorite one. I do like the other outfits. I think I know I've seen the Age of Apocalypse outfit. Of course, I love the blue and yellow. I hate the leather one done in the movies. That's not a Wolverine suit. But the brown and yellow suit, I call it brown in town. I think that's the best suit by far and large. Not even close. And what's up, Stephen M. Kal-El and Keely Cho? Welcome, guys, to the show. Late acknowledgement, but thank you guys for being here, sir. But yeah, brown and yellow, that's my suit. What about you, Caster? Where are you at?
So I go back and forth on this. I think, well, I tend to gravitate more towards that blue and gold.
Okay,
but for me, it's sort of a three-way tie between his, the blue and gold, between this Weapon X, outfit with all the wires hanging down, and he is just a primal animal of pain.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the X-Force costume, which is like the silver and black.
Mm-hmm.
That's when like Wolverine's off doing basically being like Black Ops, doing all the dirty deeds that other mutants can't get their hands dirty with. That's the Wolverine who's going to go through and he's going to be more open to slaughtering like this.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Okay.
How about you, Pablo? Where are you at? Favorite suit?
I'm trying to decide because obviously there has been a couple of good ones. I like the shoulder pads and the color blue a lot.
Okay.
And is because normally when you have the shoulder pads, you have the arms completely naked.
Uh-huh.
So you can see all the muscle and everything, but you can still see a bit of an armor-ish look, especially when they go with the more metallic details for his suit. So it looks great. You have the contrast of the red on the belt. It looks just absolutely cool as fuck, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then if you think about the silver one, yeah, Caster is right. The silver one is when he's going to be stealthy, when he's basically becoming a shadow. And that's the kind of missions that I really love with Wolverine. Because, yeah, he's a hell of a fighter. But he's a tactician. He's smart as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
So he is dangerous when he's in front of you. But he could be more dangerous when he's just your shadow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I mean the guy's a ninja. I mean we've gone through the Frank Miller story.
Exactly.
And also eventually when we get around to covering a bit more of the Uncanny X-Men, you're going to be able to see like
we will.
You're going to see him doing just that as during the Dark Phoenix saga where he's going full Wolverine on a bunch of these Hellfire Gala henchmen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Also, remember
the hell out of them.
He has led the X-Men in more than one occasion quite successfully. He has run Weapon X. He has run the X-Force in missions that are really, really stupid and have worked because he knows what he's doing. he has experience.
Mhm.
And when he is back with all his memories, he has a lot of experience. So he knows how to set up any kind of mission. And yeah, the silver costume is really cool, but
Here, let me.
I love the shoulder pads.
I'm gonna pull up just I'm just gonna pull up a copy, an image of the black and silver one I'm talking about,
Mhm.
just so you can kind of see the both
I
the
like that
team and
suit. That's the because I remember I didn't read that story. I knew of it, but I did like that they had a lot of cool talent, like Raphael Albuquerque, who also did Mark Miller's Huck. You had Jerome Opeña, who I like, Assad Rebek, who I like as well. So Philip Tan. So I was like, yeah, there's a good murderer's row of talents.
and the first storyline of it is let's kill Apocalypse.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
Need me say anything more?
No, say no more, my man. Say no more. And what's up, Subhuman 84 and my friend Wakazashi's Tea House Gray? How you doing, buddy? Dude, I want to get you on soon, okay? I know we're probably around early September. We're gonna talk a Mark Miller story. And I'd love to have you on as a guest for that, Gray. I've got a few that I'm looking at, and I would love to have you on for that. I'm thinking we're either gonna do Huck or Superior. Whichever one we do, I'd love to have you on for that. If you're down for that, let me know, brother. Okay, because I haven't had you on in a long time. I feel like that's a good way to have you back on there for that. So, anyways, one other thing that I like is usually when you have a build to a monster or a killer, there's always a build to the presence of the character, but there's a build to Wolverine's powers. We discover his healing factor. We discover his claws. We discover his sense of smell. And I did not see it coming when he looked up and then he strikes. I was just like, oh, I forget. That's good. I forgot he does do this. I actually forgot for a moment that he could smell. And I'm like, oh, that's badass. So I loved the build of his powers as it went on. So I thought that was a cool way of doing the build to something rather than the appearance of the character, building towards his powers. I was like, oh, that is incredible. And that's something I didn't notice until I finished the story. So the build, of course, is absolutely awesome. And yeah, this is once again another one of my favorite panels from the story. So yes, I mean, not that it's surprising for a show that emphasis on good comics. Of course, it's safe to say we love it and we endorse it. But man, folks,
just look at that.
You
He is
can't look at that.
Dead bodies.
You can't tell me you don't want to read this comic after saying this. This is why we love comics. This splash right here should say, hey, this is why comics are great. Look at that. The emphasis on the yellow and the red and the orange. And oh man, the violence. And you can see all the freak out of all the intercoms going off and all the people, because like, holy, everyone's in a panic of what he's doing. So you're seeing all the voices speaking about everyone gets secured, somebody answer, like the panic. You could hear the alarms go off in the room. Like this is definitely one of the most primal pages of this entire story. I think this panel right here sums up Wolverine.
This page is like the entire payoff for the entire storyline.
Yes.
And just one thing that does kind of stand out with me here is for just when we kind of look to manga briefly, like it is the master of like the black and white in many regards.
Yeah.
And this just shows you where those strengths with the Western comics can be. It's this use of color, that just adds so much more depth. The shading, the shadowing. It
adds more suspense. The colors add the suspense because it lets you know they're in a room of panic, fear, stress, distress, and they're going up against something that they know they can't stop. And they're going in that room to die.
I think my favorite element of this page here It's that guy on the left side that's getting flung backwards with just that little bit of blood just flying up in the air on him.
Uh-huh.
Like Logan just flicked him away like he's yesterday's news.
Yeah. Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Here comes tomorrow.
Guys, seriously, Barry Windsor-Smith, written and illustrated by him. There are collected editions out. Read the story. I could show up more pages, but for those who haven't read, I'm giving you now a reason to go for it. You got obviously a lot of ideas spoiled, but you're gonna forget what I said anyways. You're gonna forget what I was said, but then it's gonna come back to like, oh yeah, they were mentioning on stream. That's cool. Okay, I see where they're coming from now on that. You want this story. And I'm sure there's a percentage of you in the chat who read, but for the percentage who haven't, you have every right reason to get into this damn story. What's up to my buddy Mohammed said, Mr. Conquest. Now that we're an hour and 15 minutes into the show, it's time we finally do this. It's time we do a cheers because we got 20 plus of you in the chat. This is the least we can do. So this one's to you, chat. Thank you for a good, successful Friday night as well. And to covering more Legacy X-Men. I'm having a lot of fun talking these X-Men comics when we do. So, yeah, that's what the hell is up. So, cheers to you guys. Ah. Woo! I'm feeling good from that. I'm feeling good. So, okay. We can talk for now, Common. I want to make sure. Did you see Deadpool and Wolverine?
Not yet. We're gonna go see it tomorrow night.
You're gonna see it tomorrow night. Okay.
Yeah, we couldn't get shit for seats for tonight. So
yeah.
What's up, Best West 92? We'll do quick spoiler-free thoughts. Welcome to the show. I don't think I've seen you here before. If you have, I apologize. But in case you are new, enjoy your stay here. This is a comic show that involves drinking, so enjoy.
I'll drink to that.
We'll do quick spoiler free thoughts since we know you haven't seen it, and also because this, and I'll say this, and I feel like this is technically not a spoiler. This movie is very respectful to comics. That's all. Yeah. I think it's safe to say you won't consider that a spoiler. And chat, because Common hasn't seen it, and because there's others who haven't, please be mindful of spoilers. But I'll let Pablo, Caster, then we'll just have a quick 1 or 2 minutes each to say our spoiler-free thoughts, and then we'll go back to actual comics again. So, Pablo, what did you think?
I laughed my ass off every second of the movie. I was so impressed with how much they were allowed to fuck Marvel in the ass. I enjoyed every bit of reference, everything. The old school characters, and you know what I mean? The old school characters, man. I got one of my favorite things in life is when they do the unexpected just because they are in love with the franchise. And when they revealed some of the characters for the cameos, or not even the cameos, straight up plot points, I was just joyous. I was thinking about all those Marvel movies and I was savoring every moment. I will go back to watch the old school Hulk movies. I will go back to watch Daredevil. I will go back to watch everything.
Even the original Captain America movies.
Yes. Oh, man. I was having so many moments of that's not even an Easter egg. That is just love. That's somebody that was making this movie that was like, have you ever seen that movie where the Fantastic Four? Say no more. I know which one. I have the same VHS. We will do it.
Go ahead, Caster. Seems like
yeah,
Pablo had to say.
So the fun thing with the movie is especially for those of us that have kind of been well aware of the current state of Marvel Studios and the film outlook, makes a few of the jokes that were made in this movie sort of at Marvel's expense just hit that much harder. Like I think you're gonna be very happy for those because it seems like they're aware that there's a problem and that they're willing to make jokes about it. Paying attention to it, especially in that light. There's a lot of sort of meta commentary about like the idea of the multiverse, and it seems like, hey, maybe this is going to be them kind of hinting to the audience, we're going to kind of slowly get away from the multiverse because it's complicating things and people aren't really responding to it as well. A couple other little things. Yep, it's got some great jokes, some decent cameos. I kind of feel like this one might not age as well if we start getting that big turnaround and things start getting back on track. And I mean, for the most part, it's pretty worthwhile. This doesn't mean that the next couple Marvel movies or shows are going to be inherently better. That said, I'm very pleased with the movie. I think I only give it about a 6 out of 10. It's still a worthwhile movie. I give it 3 out of 5 stars. So it's worth your time. Absolutely go see it. Don't wait on this one. And it does some great nods back to some of the like classic versions of like comic characters. Like, this guy's we see briefly like this person's classic costume, and that classic costume. And just to save you all some time, the post-credit scene is really not worth staying around for.
Really? I thought it was. I love it.
No, it was funny, but it's
not super necessary.
It's not plot important, but it's an actually really good payoff. Not because of this movie, because of Age of Ultron.
Well, the thing is, it's not there to set up another movie. So my point is, if you're hoping to go in and see, some little Easter egg being set up for the next Marvel movie, this ain't it.
And you know what? I'm good with that. It didn't set anything up. It was there. It felt like it was closing a book. And I feel like, especially in a day and age where it feels like we're afraid to close books, I think that's actually a really great thing. I feel like, if anything, it did not set the MCU up for success. I feel like it let them know, like, good luck, have fun doing anything else worthy of interest after this. I don't feel like it's going to make the MCU better. Like I said, it helps that Ryan Reynolds had the involvement. So my thoughts on it. For me, this was my favorite Deadpool movie. And now I heard a lot of people say that the last trailer gave away the emotional beats of the movie. Now, I didn't watch that last trailer, so I have no idea what those emotional beats were in it. Apparently, they gave away a lot in that last trailer. I'm glad I didn't watch it because for me, a lot of it was very fresh for me. And I was able to really appreciate the emotional beats because for me, that's what I liked. Is I feel like the personal story for Deadpool and Wolverine individually each was really cool. And I feel like it added a lot more meat to the bone than just another multiverse story. I feel like it really made their journeys feel personal. And it really humanized their arcs and gave them something to fight for, up to and including Wolverine's suit. And a lot of the cameos for the heroes, I think, were done with taste, and they definitely felt like some of them were there for redemptions, not in the continuity of the movies, but as once again as a fourth wall breaking. This is my redemption arc because either my movie didn't do well or my movie didn't get made. Like I said, we're not giving spoilers. I haven't given away characters. And for some characters, it's a one last hurrah because some of them are even essential to, let's just say, Marvel's success before the MCU. And it is very comic book faithful and plays off a lot of those great nods with class and respect. And it's clear people actually did their research for this. This is what happens when one movie was actually able to do their homework for once and go for it. And I've already said on TNT, I'm one of the few people on earth who does not like Logan at all as a movie. I don't like it at all. I think this is a much better hurrah for Wolverine. Much better hurrah. If anyone likes Logan, you like which diaper for me. That I saw a movie, I felt nothing. This movie really made me fall in love with Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. It felt like a definitive Wolverine arc. And
Yeah.
I actually didn't mind the villain as well. Some of the CG is a little shoddy in the third act. Some of it is. But as I've said, historically speaking, I can look past it if I'm being entertained. And the entertainment factor made me forgive that not so great aspect.
Okay. Did you saw it on 2D or in 3D?
Regular.
Okay, here is the thing. A lot of the weirdness, especially with some flying character, I will say, that is flying around that looks kind of really awful.
Uh-huh.
The perspective is fucked up because they are using only one of the two perspectives that they have to do the 3D. And yeah, I noticed that, but I have been noticing a lot of that less because of the movies are doing they are doing them now on 2D only, right? The ones that they do on 3D for some reason, because you have to do this weird angle where the shadow is not perfectly set, where the illumination is not absolutely perfect, because you need to contrast with the other image that you need to contrapose to do the 3D with a slightly changed angle. It looks weird, like you are hanging something over the screen and not really in the film.
Did you guys notice where between certain shots you could tell it was a different mask?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Even the costume in some scenes should be dirtier and everything, but the thing is that they actually acknowledge some of that in the movie.
Yeah, it just little things that seemed like, oh, this is probably gonna be better like in a week or two, when after they probably just go back and do what they always do and kind of do some additional little touches up for the CG.
Oh yeah, the Blu-ray will be killer.
Oh yeah, no, it's gonna be better. It's gonna look better when it comes out, a little bit. Little things that did kind of bother me, where it seems like little elements are still there, like, oh, we're still gonna have the girl who's the key to everything. We literally had that in the movie as part of it.
Yes and no. And this is the thing. I felt this was exactly what the Scary Movie was for horror movies when it came out. That it had every single bit of trope, every single thing that was wrong in all the movies, and made comedy gold out of it. Right? So they had every bit for a Marvel movie, and it was not a mistake. They were announcing this is a bit for the Marvel movie.
Mhm.
They were telling you every punch.
Now, if you're a
Sure, but
normie,
how well is that gonna hold up?
A Scary Movie still holds up really, really well. Even a Scary Movie 3 that was really over the top, to in the nose with the Matrix reference and references and everything. But
Did you ever watch this? Did you ever see all the deleted scenes for that one where
Yes.
they have a full-on Matrix fight?
it's great.
so I feel like if you're a normie, my buddy Mark D with a C, he said he saw it with a buddy of his, and he's a normie, and his buddy didn't mind the movie, but he felt like he didn't understand a lot of the movie. I think
Okay.
it's not going to age well for a normie, but if you're a comic fan, it's going to age better for you, because comic fans never get sick of respects towards the source material, because to us, that's the minimum requirement, and that should be like the most essential thing that should be doing in these movies. And once again, this movie is very faithful to these characters, and it's very faithful to a lot of stuff that came before. And it's a love letter to the Fox Marvel movies. I'm very hit or miss with Fox Marvel movies. There's some I absolutely love. And there's ones I absolutely downright hate. Maybe I'll make a video one day on my from worst to best. My favorite one, I'll just give it away now. My favorite Fox Marvel movie is X-Men First Class. Even after seeing Deadpool and Wolverine, X-Men First Class is my favorite by far and large. Not even close. It's an astronomical zoo far away thing. Yeah, we're going down that route. So
I like X-Men too more, man.
okay, and that's fair. I X2 is if somewhere in my top 5. I'll put it that way. So there's your indirect spoiler. If I ever do this list, it's somewhere in my top 5, somewhere in there. But Deadpool and Wolverine was my as a fan of source material respect. This is one of my favorites for me personally.
By the way,
normies are not gonna gravitate towards this movie in 20 years. I as a fan of this movie, I can say that with confidence. Normies will not even gravitate towards this in 10 years. Now, could the action maybe age well? Sure. Can the multiverse story aspect of it age well? Sure. But the problem is the amount of inside baseball in this movie is pretty astronomical. I'll admit, even though it was like a packed audience of at least 80% at 3 p.m. in a suburb town of Illinois, because that was my audience.
Yep.
There were some jokes, admittedly, a handful of jokes I was the only one who laughed at and got. There were some. There was a lot that everyone got, but there were some where I was the only one that laughed at it.
Okay, in my theater.
That's how deep I am in this whole business sphere, lore sphere, movie sphere, comic sphere, that there's going to be things that are going to be deeper cuts. And because as fun as they are for us fans, they are definitely not going to age well with normies because normies don't take the time to understand the type of thing. And then they don't have to either. So if you're a fan, it will age well. But if you're a normie, yeah, you will probably forget this movie by in less than 5 years even.
In my theater, I noticed something really interesting, and I have a theory that the people that made this movie have been watching videos from Midnight Edge, have been watching videos from Gary, have been watching videos from a lot of the channels that are on our sphere, because there was one joke that I swear to God, it was not an ego boost, and I don't want to really spoil it because it's one of the best jokes of the movie. Yeah, but it was an acknowledgement of something that is happening right now with Marvel, that they cannot really finalize contracts and they cannot really finalize things, and there's a movie in limbo that may be canceled. And they pointed that out in this movie without any respect for anything, and it was just absolutely beautifully done. And I was the only person on the theater that got that reference because I report on that. I know how the contract situation is doing and how much they are about to lose the star for the movie. And it was absolutely great. That was a dig that the guy that is about to drop may be angry enough to actually do the movie, even if the movie sucks, because it goes that deep. It was inside the baseball, and the people that were in my theater, they were reacting to everything. Except
we're not gonna spoil it, Mars Monkey Max. I know you want to. Maybe next week in a week or two. Maybe we might do it. Maybe I'll do a special show dedicated to that. But I'm really trying to be mindful of those who do want to catch it. So I do want to respect that for our listeners, because our listeners take their time out of their day listening to this, and it's important that we respect that. But I do understand your excitement to want to get into the conversation. I get it.
This is a movie that a lot of people are excited to see, and it was almost an elephant in the room because we're talking about the Wolverine movie, and a lot of this came up. So we just had to touch on it very briefly, and basically give the more or less spoiler-free reviews. Just to say, long story short, yeah, you should probably go see this one. Go see this in theaters. Don't wait for it to come out on streaming. Like, go support your local theater. And by the way, I had the best experience. I went to like an Imagine where they have the full on reclining seats.
Oh, I envy you.
It's one of the experiences that kind of spoils you for movies because you're like, because any other theater you go to after this is like, well, these seats can't recline. I can't put my feet up. I can't get someone to come like deliver me beer.
God,
Yep.
you know
And
what?
Food, you can eat full meals at an Alamo Draft House.
What's up, Bad Gamergate? How you doing, buddy?
Nope.
I envy you, but I'm okay with with my decision for a theater because it's the theater where I saw X-Men 1. Is the theater that I went with my great aunt, not great aunt, great aunt. And you know what? I absolutely love that site, even if they went bankrupt a couple of years ago and they were purchased by another chain. It is exactly the same seats, exactly the same smell of old theater, and
That nostalgia.
yeah, it's that nostalgia. But I'm going to watch it on 3D tomorrow. I'll be honest. There's not many movies that are still being made on 3D. And there's just a couple of really good superhero movies that are, or comic book in general movies that are done in 3D, like Dread. If you haven't seen Dread on 3D, you need to get an old 3D TV, get a Blu-ray, a 3D Blu-ray, and a PS3. It will be compatible, it will be perfect, and you will see Dread on 3D, and it's mind-blowing. You know those scenes when they are smoking the drug and everything goes into slow motion, and those moments on 3D, you can feel the fog. You can feel the haziness. It's incredible. So I love superhero movies on 3D. Even Age of Ultron have so many good tricks. Guardians of the Galaxy on 3D is the best Marvel movie on 3D. This one, if I could resurrect my 3D TV, I want to watch it on 720p, on a PS3, on a 3D Blu-ray, and just enjoy old school superhero movies. You know, when I was young, it's just that it had even the 3D for the nostalgia factor. For nerds like me that like that shit, most people don't care about 3D.
Hey, we welcome these types of comments even late. The fact that you even adding that to the conversation is awesome. Bad Gamer Great saying his favorite Wolverine costume is one he stole from Fang in New York. I know exactly what you're talking about too, from Ultimate X-Men 107. Yeah. See? Nah. All right. Well, I saw the DCU movie logo reveal. I did see that. That does look really cool, even though the movie doesn't look itself to be good at all with Superman's awful looking suit. Yeah, it's a cool looking intro. The fact that it's Superman's very first suit with the best DC logo, I'll give credit where it's due, even though I'm heavily not interested as of now. If I see Superman, it'll only because Mr. Tom Connors requested of me to see it, but I have there's no I need to watch this or as I have to because I don't have to watch it. I just don't. If the boss says, Nick, do it for the show, okay, fine.
Yeah, Nick, I want to ask, should we pull it up to show everyone, or do you not want to do that? You're the boss here, so.
How long is the clip?
10 seconds.
Let's do it. I'll trim it off if I have to. So if you're catching the replay of this, we're going to play a clip that might get hit with a copyright claim. And, if there's a part that feels cropped out, edited out, it's because it is. We're editing out because, we get hit with things. And I do like making money on my streams. And
Nick, you have huevos. I respect that.
Yeah.
So we're doing this for the fans who catch it live. For the people who catch it live, you win. So We're doing it live. Cool. Cooler. That's cool.
Nice.
I
Nice.
like that. I really like that. I like the logo, the turn with Superman. That to me is how it should be.
Great.
That is a really good, really
Oh,
good.
He's
Great.
bursting the chains. Yeah.
That is really good. That is really good. I'll give them credit. Gunn and Saffron, they got a gold mine with that intro. That's a really good intro. That is really good. I am absolutely highly approved of that. Yeah, thank you. It is a logo they should have never. Yeah, see, look at enthusiasm. See, that is something they should have never changed. It was perfect as it was. You look at it now, it still looks good. You're like,
Yes.
this doesn't feel like a logo that's aged well. You look at it, it feels like a timeless logo. It defines DC, and
It feels official.
I want to be excited about DC. I want to. I hear like apparently my buddy Wes from Thinking Critical, who I do a weekly show with on his Patreon, talking. We're currently talking New Frontier from Darwin Cook on there. We're about to talk the Kingsman as well from Mark Miller, and I think it's Dave Gibbons on art. We're talking classic DC on there. We're having a lot of fun, talking classic DC, and just like, wow, DC used to be so freaking cool. Like even into the 2000s, they were really cool. Like they had a little bit of a down period, and they are bouncing back up in the 2000s. And it was cool because Green Lantern was hot, Teen Titans was hot. It wasn't just Batman doing well. You had other books that do hot. And for a short moment with Rebirth, Superman and Action Comics were doing hot. And I hear Jeremy Adams is the one. I hear him consistently as the one writer who's absolutely awesome at DC. Our buddy Andrew from Rippaverse, he's championed Jeremy Adams, the Flash one, and a lot. And he ain't the only one that's doing it. Apparently, it redeemed the atrocity that Tom King did to Wally West. And even though I'm not a Wally West guy, I'm a Barry Allen guy through and through, I still respect that someone came in there and fixed Wally West, and I'm happy for the Wally fans. I'll probably end up buying a trade of it for the Wally fans. But that's good to know there's a guy out there who's trying to make good stuff. And I know he doesn't do the Flash anymore. He now does a Green Lantern. And I've been hearing that apparently his Green Lantern run is great. And he's like over a year now in it. I hear it's still great. That's great that Adams is that one guy who's really there trying to make a difference. Unfortunately, one man can't carry a ship. It's unfortunate.
That I will say about the logo there is that it's, well, I don't know a ton of what's going on with the movies so far. That logo has me excited. I'm like, okay, I'm listening.
That logo's that intro is A+ for me.
Okay,
that is
that
A+
logo.
intro.
That logo make me think of B-list and C-list characters that I will absolutely love to see on the screen done the old school way. Like the Question. That's a character that you need to manage really, really well. It's a different kind of detective story. But
and I go on about all the time, and I remember talking briefly to Gary Nerdrotic about it. I think we actually spoke about it in person when I hung out with him in Vegas. We were talking about the Zatanna run right before the new 52 launch, and that Zatanna run, once again, what's cool is when big books do well, it props up the smaller books because people are, oh, what else is good? These big books are awesome. I'm enjoying Green Lantern. I'm enjoying Teen Titans. It props up books like Zatanna, who obviously, as cool as she is, she's a lesser known character. Books like that get talented writers and artists, and then they do well for that. And that book was canned because of the incoming new 52. Booster Gold was killer as well. I loved that Booster Gold series in the 2000s. Oh man, it was so good. So good.
Have you checked out the Peter David Aquaman?
Oh yeah, I'm a fan and a half.
We gotta talk about this sometime.
Oh, we will. Believe that. No, there were some really Man, that 2000s of DC was it was cool, and it got readers coming back too. That's a thing. It got a lot of people coming back, Clobby included. He was one of the guys who came back to DC because of the redemption of Hal Jordan. Hal Jordan, the greatest Green Lantern, and it's not even close. Like you can debate all you want. There's ones I like, even Mogul the Planet, but Hal Jordan is straight up the man. He's the evil Knievel. He's basically Maverick and Top Gun. He is, man. Hal Jordan is the guy. He's also. There's a great page. I think it was Ivan Rice who had a great page of where Hal Jordan mollywopped the fuck out of Batman, and I was just like, this is the only comic that ever got away with that, and Batman did not come back from it. Or he mollywopped him. I was like, holy crap. Chip is the greatest Green Lantern team. Hey, I like me some Chip. I like
what,
me.
no Moto?
I actually like Moto. No, seriously, I do. And I do like Jon Stewart. I think Jon Stewart's great. I'm on the fence with Guy Gardner. There's things I like, things I'm not so sure about. I do like Kyle Rayner. I know Clobby and I didn't agree on Kyle Rayner, but I do like Kyle Rayner. But dude, Hal Jordan, I mean, God, I get excited every time Hal says his whole marching order for the ring. I love it, and that Green Lantern animated series, I'm probably gonna have to do a special one day on that animated series. I love that show, all 24, 25 episodes. Love it, top to bottom. Absolutely love it. It is essential DC cartoons, essential DC in all of DC, straight up. Like, I'm just saying, like, you should absolutely watch that cartoon if you somehow haven't. Like, I can forgive not watching it yet, but
it's up there in a lot of ways with Batman Brave and the Bold.
Oh yeah. Oh it's so good.
There's I think I gotta go do some superhero marathons this weekend. Like, I gotta go. I'm probably gonna sit down and watch Blade now and watch some Batman Brave and the Bold. I think that's the marching orders.
Oh, I don't know if I want to go to the original version of the Daredevil or the extended cut of the Daredevil movie. I'm unsure because the extended is actually good in some point.
Yeah,
then it goes back to being the same movie. Then it goes good. Then it goes back to being the same movie. It's a weird one.
It's seriously. Oh man, yeah.
Call me Bullseye. I never miss.
Oh, that scene I actually like because it's so fun.
It's so
when he's on the middle of the street pointing
crazy.
at the bullseye on his forehead and doing all that weird face, and you're like, he's enjoying so much.
His motivation at the end is like, he made me miss.
I will never forgive that scene at the kids' park with Matt Murdock and Elektra. That was one of the worst scenes in movie history. Straight up, one of the worst.
It's fun. They are fighting with a bunch of kids. They're like,
I still haven't recovered from that 21 years later. Don't get me going. We're going to talk about some cool comics. Guys, Nemesis Rogues Gallery right here. I'm going to zoom in on this. This was drawn, cover, and interiors by Valerio Jean Giordano. You need this comic, like, straight up. This guy is an absolute A-lister talent. He's an Italian artist. And you know how Joker said in Batman 1889, where does he get those wonderful toys? Where I had to ask myself, Mark, where do you get those wonderful artists? Because this is another one to the list of great art. And I'm going to give away one page, and only because it was on Twix as well, but just to show you once again how brutal Nemesis is.
An open-faced sandwich.
It is a brutal story. Now I don't know if this issue is going to be representative of the indication of the rest of the series to come. It does have a similar beginning to Big Gang, where it feels like it's building towards the rest going crazy. But this first issue does read differently compared to Reloaded, which Reloaded went balls to wall in right away, and then kept it crazy throughout. So I don't know if it's going to keep up with this more visceral thriller direction. If it does, I'm all for it. But if it goes action, either way, I feel like I win from it. But dudes, Mark is back, and I missed him, and he's got killer artists with him. In 2 weeks from now, he's got another series he's coming back with, Prodigy as well, and 2 weeks after that, Nightclub 2. So I'm just saying, Millworld is back, and y'all should be reading at least one of these series. Y'all should be reading at least one each. I'm going to be reading all of them. I'm going to read all of them, but Nemesis is probably one of my favorite Millworld creations ever. One of them. Seriously, this may be probably the most Nemesis type of artist for this book yet. Which is saying a lot because Steve McNiven did the first one, Jorge Jimenez did the second one, and technically Pepe Larraz on Big Game, even though it's a crossover that Nemesis was involved in, but I still count him because he drew Nemesis in there. You got Valerio Jean Giordano, and he fits Nemesis perfectly. It's creepy, this comic, at times. It's creepy at times. And it's very unsettling. It's very uneasy. And that's saying a lot because Nemesis is a very uneasy, terrifying character. So you want this damn comic. Nemesis Rogues Gallery. I see my other comic I'm going to get really quickly because...
Is this a book that came out this past week you and I were talking about?
This week it came out.
I mean, is your next book one that you and I had talked about?
What do you mean?
There was that one we were texting back and forth about. I don't know if you wanted to...
Hold on a second. Are you talking about the bush? We'll get into that. 5, yes, it is very edgy. However, before I still need to read Rook Exodus, which came up this week, but also from my friend Justin Belmont, I got Smokes the Fox. I should be able to get to it finally by Monday. I can't wait to read this. I'm excited. Yeah. I got a really sweet print right here, Demon in a Bong. I got some stickers. I'm gonna put on my fridge. What's up, TZ Burden? I see you in the chat. I'm excited to read this guy. I'm really excited to read this guy. One of the rare times I got a variant for Conan the Barbarian, issue 13, the Frost Giant's daughter, and this is Amanda Connor's cover, right here. What's up, Release McCracken?
Oh, really good cover, man.
No, I say it's not the main cover. This is Amanda Connor right here. And for those who do not know, she is the wife to Jimmy Palmiotti. So that's her cover as well. I almost got the main cover from Dan Panosian. I almost got the...
It's a good cover, but maybe she's too much cover.
It's supposed to tell a story that it's actually the first arc Zub is doing where he's telling a story that's already been told, but apparently there's a twist to it. And I feel like I can already catch what he's trying to do differently, and I'm all ready for it. So, and Doug Braithwaite's art, obviously it's impossible to follow Roberto De La Torre, but Doug Braithwaite's art is really good. It's basically a guy you're following up a guy who's a 9 out of 10 with a guy who's an 8.5 out of 10. That's a good problem to have. It's a good problem to have. Flash Gordon #1.
Yeah.
This was great. For those of you in the chat, Will Conrad did the art for this. He's going to be the interior artist for Gooding the Polymath, which ships next week for Rippaverse Comics. I can't wait to read that too. He did that, and Jeremy Adams, the guy who people say is the shining saving grace at DC with the Flash, Green Lantern, he did this. And apparently he's doing an ongoing with this. This was fun. It was awesome. It was heroic. and Will's art was awesome, and I can't wait to read it again. But dude, it moves. Oh, this story moves, and I had such a fun time. And yeah, Void
Yeah.
Rivals, dude. I'm just gonna show off one page of the fun and monstrousness. Oh,
Yeah, it's fun to have a book that's one of these throwback legacy characters. Like Flash Gordon is something like one of the most Americana figures out there.
Yep.
And so to have more of these adventures with him coming back to save the day, save the Earth, and getting thrown into the almost the middle of an adventure where Flash Gordon is just. He's got how's Flash getting out of this problem that he's starting in at the very start of the issue, only to not have to go and rescue his friends. Plus, it also is teasing more of our other classic pulp characters coming back, such as the Phantom.
wish I got a few pages here. So yeah,
You are
right
playing
here.
with my heart.
Yeah, it will be called Defenders of the Earth. It'll be a miniseries, 8-issue miniseries, Defenders of the Earth. So there's going to be a Flash Gordon ongoing series, which is this. There's also going to be a quarterly thing called Flash Gordon Quarterly. And then there's going to be Defenders of the Earth, which involves the Phantom.
Okay,
Also,
you
there's
may,
this old comic strip that's involved in this right here.
yeah, I don't know if you have read the original Defenders.
I have not.
Oh, okay, that's why you are not that. They
But
are
I'm
bringing,
excited for what I got here.
yeah, they are bringing back something beautiful. And the Phantom, I love the Phantom, but the whole team. Oh my, it's great.
Yeah.
They went old school, not anything adorning the
they
suit,
went there,
just
man.
straight up clothes. Oh, tell me
They-
he has the original underwear with the
Well,
stripes.
we'll see the Phantom on many pages, so you can't tell what
Okay.
type of undies he's
Yeah,
wearing.
to be
but
to be
it's
fair,
his
it's also
classic purple suit.
To be fair, it's also
JC,
a preview.
Flash Gordon is Mad Cave. This is Mad Cave. Mad Cave. Yeah, it's just Mad Cave. It's just Mad Cave. Go seek this comic out, guys. Seriously. Yeah, seriously. Seek this out.
And also for anyone who out there curious, Mad Cave Comics is also doing the ongoing Dick Tracy. So again, more pulp.
It's funny. I'm glad you
Wait.
mentioned that. So, obviously, Mark Miller was on Nerdrotic's channel yesterday morning, which I call was really good. But earlier this week, he was also on Wes's channel from Thinking Critical. And why is this important? Because it seems like Mr. Mark is in indirect agreement with Razor Fist that the pulps is the way of the future. Okay. Show that off and I'll keep chatting.
He's also they're also releasing Gotcha Man, but
Okay. No, it's good.
like, wait a minute.
Mad Cave is
I
a
have picking
comic
up picked up more of their stuff than I realized,
Oh,
which is just another kind of throwback franchise.
G-Force.
Oh, Caster, did you see they are reviving Rangma One Half?
I did. I am looking forward to that.
Okay, after the revival of
Urusei
Urusei
Yatsura.
Yatsura and the revival for Spice and Wolf, dude, the last episode of Spice and Wolf, there's a moment when you can feel is Lawrence being absolutely heartbroken and in panic that he might lose the woman that he loves and wants to
I'm
protect.
I'm not as familiar with Spice
Well,
and Wolf.
is if you have ever been in love and there's a moment when somebody may be in the way, may be trying to take her away, and you feel that sensation of you are about to lose and that rage and everything, and then it's just like you are at the same time sinking and your blood is boiling, and it was perfectly done. Oh God, it's so good. Spice and Wolf is so goddamn good.
What 224? I'm looking, Dave. I see you right there,
I got
buddy. You got it? Okay.
I got it for you.
Sweet. Because he said for a member for 8 months, thank you, bud. Says, can you show the 1F variant of Flash? It's total old school. We got you, man. Caster beat me to it.
He deep.
That is good. That's Dan Panosian, who I was just talking about for Conan. I almost bought his cover. His Conan cover was really good as well. His Conan cover is really good. Yeah, Dan Panosian's really good. So I really like his cover for Flash Gordon. It's really good.
But sorry, you were saying about Mark Millar?
Oh, he was talking with Wes, and I don't know if the pulps rubbed off on him or if Razor inspired him. I don't know which one happened or if it was just coincidence. But he was talking about characters like Conan and Cull and the Shadow, Doc Savage. And he's like, I feel like that's going to be the wave of the future is a lot of these pulpier type of characters. And all I thought in my head was, I got to send this to Razor. And I shot it to Razor. I'm like, hey, look who indirectly agrees with you on this. So it definitely had me thinking. And let's not forget, too, we're now 13 issues into Conan the Barbarian. It's still running hot. People are still talking about it enthusiastically. We got the first big crossover coming out with Conan, Dark Agnes, and Solomon Kane starting in September, the Battle of the Blackstone. And, of course, the Savage Sword went from limited series to monthly. There's something in the water now with a lot of these types of characters, these really traditional characters who started it all. And the fact that we're really enthusiastic about the books once again. Now, of course, Flash Gordon. Like, it feels like a good time for these characters to be shining.
Well, and I think part of what we're seeing is sort of a byproduct of how just kind of publishing in general has foregone men. Like in general, like you do not get books geared at, you do not get novels or stories really geared at men in the traditional avenues. Like they basically they gave all that up so they could turn everything into a very more feminist slanted literature or whatever you might want to call it instead. So as a result, guys have had to go elsewhere, and comic shops are more or less one of those last few vestiges of sort of a kind of that place where guys are able to get what they want.
We will probably be having a lot of pulp stories to be talking about in the future. Of course, along with our classic X-Men, of course, with some classic DC, and obviously we're going to talk some Mark Millar, whether it's Superior or Huck this fall, of course, as well. But yeah, the future is in the past, or if you want to reword it as the future is by going back. Yeah, I can't wait for Flash Gordon #2. I'm really, really ecstatic about this. And the fact that I got my Smokes the Fox here, Hunt the Littlest Umbrellas here from that umbrella guy, which for those of you who are in the chat now, let's see if I can dig for it. I don't know where I put my own crap sometimes. It's somewhere here, but I showed off in the beginning of the stream. Seriously, These guys saw it. These guys synced it. So I'm happy. And Gooding ships next week as well, which on once again another book that has Will Conrad's art in it with Mike Barron on there. And I just read Nexus Scourge. Nexus Scourge was so much fun. I can't wait to reread it again. So I'm gonna try to see, maybe I try to get Mr. Mike on here, and maybe if I could try to time it to after when Gooding comes out, we could talk to him about the book. Just saying. Oh, commenting is dangerous. I brought you up at the beginning of the stream, brother. I got your Hanna-Barbera shirt. It is in the wash, and it's going to be worn next Friday night for the show. I love it, sir. Yes, guys, if you didn't catch the beginning of the stream, you should, because I got this giant box from Sean Estep, and it was huge. Like, big league, huge, diabolical. Y'all who were here earlier, you seen it. And then Constantine Xander sends a badass shirt, and I'm very grateful. You guys are too good to me. You're too nice. I'm not worthy of these gifts, but I'm grateful and thankful that you send them, because I don't know what the hell I'd be doing. I really don't. How far have you read one part? Well, of which series? Which series, brother? Which one are you talking about? How to make a souffle. I love that image with the Josh and Mary with the bull. That's good, TZ. That's really good, man. It feels like there is not only a shift in the pulpier stuff, but it feels like there's a slow, hey, let's get these books to being fun again. And I can tell it's going to be a bit of a slow ride. It's not going to be quick. I actually think we're talking 5, 6, 7 years more realistically, but at least we're getting there. And I did read Void Rivals number 11. It wasn't as good as the last few issues. It's still good, though. Still good, just not as strong, but the conclusion issues coming up. So it's probably going to end up strong like the last arc did. So Massgrave, I see. What's up, buddy? It says, speaking of sending you things, same address. Yes. Send to me there. Man, you guys are spoiling me way too much. Madhouse Retro Game. What's up, man?
Madhouse, what's up?
What's
buddy?
up? Say, just finished watching Deadpool Wolverine going against. Hey, man, enjoy again, sir.
Mark's a good movie.
Yeah, I don't have anything next week coming out that is to be of my interest.
Same.
Casper doesn't either.
This is gonna be kind of one of those infrequent kind of weeks where there's really nothing that's really jumping up my list of of a reason to go back to the shop. So I guess we're gonna have a little bit of a breather week to catch up on a little bit of the backlog. And well, I've got a few books I need to read.
Oh, nice. And
Including
DK Bone says, good evening, 32 from Daytona. Whoa, nice. Hail to you, sir. I don't feel like I've seen you come here before, but welcome. Thank you. Appreciate that. I have no idea. Look at it, shows you once again how many. I had a lot of comments from people who never commented here before tonight, and I'm loving that. Lets you know the wide reach. It reaches around really good.
Giggity.
Do you guys got anything else we got? Because we probably go about an hour, 20 minutes, and we got to wrap it up. Oh, we got a haul. All right, guys. That's it. We're going to look at Common Nerd's great haul before we pull out. So, brother, the floor is yours.
So for today was the first day of our local Corpus Christi Comic Con, and this was one of the bags they had. This is the Blue Ghost, which is our local. It's the USS Lexington, and it's our aircraft carrier that's down here. So this is the Blue Ghost down there. So they've got it into a transformer, which I thought was badass as all cope. And it's cool. They had these bags. You can get 2 for $5. It was this one, and there was a regular Corpus Christi Comic Con one. So I wasn't initially planning on getting anything today. But because this is something we did $5 Fridays last week because I got press passes, but I have 5 kids, so we had to pay for the kids to get in there too. So this is something like everybody on my chat and everybody else paid for all of this kind of stuff, and we'll be live streaming from the con tomorrow over on my Common Nerds YouTube and over on my Rumble as well. We'll be doing that, but for all of you out there, this I just couldn't resist because I got a fat. Well, we'll go through what I got first because I got a fat stack of Ghost Rider comics because I'm a big Ghost Rider fan, and that was my first ever comic book as a kid. Here, let me just put these in order here real quick. And of course, they never do have them, anywhere close to the order you'd like them in. But I got as many of them as close to in order as I possibly could. And there was one of the covers that I absolutely had to get because it's actually a cover I remember from when I was a kid. It was actually one of the first Ghost Rider comics I ever had as a kid, and I'll get to that one here in a little bit. But Rise of the Midnight Suns. Yeah, Spirits of Vengeance #1. Thought that was pretty dope. So always love it when I can find a #1 in the cheaper bin. Not cheaper. That one was $6. Tomorrow we're going to be live streaming and hitting up the 50-cent and dollar bins though. So if anybody wants to come hang out on the live stream and send me money via Streamlabs or Cash App, we'll be comic hunting again this year like what we did last year. So number 8, I hate the how the plastic always ends up looking in these I always end up having to pull them out. Not that I know anything about that. I have 5 kids. But I love some of these covers. Like this was just freaking Living Nightmare. I mean, that is just dope as all hell. So thought that one was really, really cool. We'll stick these over here for now. And then this one, I have no idea how he got in there, but this is X Factor and the Morlocks with Ghost Rider. And it's actually got post-apocalypse. What was it? Archangel? Isn't that what they called him? Post-apocalypse?
Archangel, yeah.
Yeah, they called him Archangel post-apocalypse issue. So if I can see if I can get the tape off this one. But I thought that was really neat when I saw that. But it's got the midnight, it's got the Morlocks and all this other stuff in there. So I thought this was really dope. Have an Archangel on the back of there. So yeah, you got X Factor and the Morlocks in this one. And then you got Beast on the cover too. Yeah, you got Beast on the cover of that one as well. So that ought to be a fun one to get into.
Angel is an underrated X-Men. I will say that.
Say what now? I missed it.
Yeah, Angel is a really underrated X-Men.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I thought Alien was absolutely dope. And this one says, "Don't kill Zodiac, kill me." So I guess he's going up against whatever the Zodiac is in the world. Because I didn't get a chance to read too terribly many of these as a kid. It was just like my first one, and it's always been kind of my favorite character by default. But I'm always down for any good Flaming Skull cover of Ghost Rider. So I'm always down, always absolutely down for that. And then nope, it's one more for the first cover I've got. But this one is one of my favorite iterations of his motorcycle too, because I love the cover on this one. But this one is number 22. But I love his bike in this form.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I absolutely loved that. I thought that was dope. And I love seeing the chains flying out and everything else. Like that's always good stuff. Yeah, absolutely freaking love it. And this one this is actually the reason why I probably bought all of these is because of this one right here. And wow, he's got old school Scotch tape on this one. And he didn't have a whole lot. The section wasn't too big of the Ghost Riders, but this is one of the first covers I bought when I was one that I had as a kid was this one right here. And so, yeah, I had to make sure I got this one, number 24. So that one's a great one. I actually remember the issue pretty well. It's actually a lot of fun. So this is actually one of the ones that I did get a chance to read as a kid. So I thought that was really dope. And then we got number 30 here. Like that's one of my favorite parts about the Ghost Riders. I love all the hellfire and everything else. So I always love these covers. I think these things freaking look great because you've always got all that demonic sense going on with everything. And then of course, Nightmares revealed. So, and this one's actually this one, I think in the Nightmares realm, of course, you have to deal with having a brain fart all of a sudden. It was Mephisto. I think it's Mephisto. He always ends up dealing with. And so that looks like that'll be a lot of fun as well. So yeah, I had a fun time. We wandered around the con today, looked at a bunch of different cosplays. My wife and I are actually dressing up tomorrow. She's got all of she got the last pieces of her stuff in today, which she's going as Raven. And that's where the green spray paint has come from on my beard. We're testing out for me to go as Beast Boy tomorrow. So that'll be a lot of fun. That will be a lot of fun. So yes, Madhouse, thank you again for the donation today during the morning stream. That's where a lot of this went from. And this one's got plastic inside of plastic because this one was cool because this one has like a bunch of bonus posters and stuff like that. And it's actually still in its plastic. That's the reason why this one was $6. It's a special collector's item issues. So it's still got all like the posters and stuff like that in there. Because this one's Johnny Blaze and Ghost Rider like actually teaming up in like their actual own forms to attack me. So that's kind of the cool. That's why it's like the Rise of the Midnight Suns kind of situation. And then this one, I tried to make it an even $30 because it just makes making change a lot easier that way. Mm-hmm. And like, of course, since everybody knows I'm a big Batman, the animated series fan, and of course, ergo, because of that, also a big Batman Beyond fan. And the earliest one they had was number 3. But I got me a Batman Beyond comic as well, which I love Terry McGinnis. I thought he was a great character, great continuation of the Batman story for a good way to do things after he retires and stuff like that. I thought this was a much better way to do it versus some of the other versions that we'd seen. Even though I love some of the other versions we've seen, I think this was the best way to handle an old man Bruce Wayne and having his legacy carry on. So I was super excited to that. I'll probably end up grabbing some more of those. But yeah, come on. If you haven't already, make sure you come subscribe to the new Common Nerds channel and hit that notification bell because I'll be going live from the con tomorrow. live streaming, and we'll be doing more comic book hunting. And hell, this is how it always goes. Like I have Gooding the Polymath. I'll get it shipped first thing when everybody else does too, because of all of you guys out there. So if you guys are on my stream and you want to hang out and you see something cool at the con that you think I should buy, you guys know where the donation links are, so that'll be a good time. So yeah, I'm super excited to get into reading some more Ghost Rider, and that's one of the other reasons why I got the bookshelf back here. One of the other reasons why, so I can start displaying some more comics and get some more short boxes. And it was funny because Rippaverse, I was literally like, it was like Tuesday on my stream, or whenever it was, the day before the Rippaverse new short box got announced. I was literally on my stream going, okay, we're going to con this weekend. I'm probably going to pick up a bunch of books, right? Like I need more short boxes. Literally the next day, I'm in my email getting ready to go live on my stream, and the email is like it came in like 15 minutes before before my show went live. I got the email saying the short box. I thought that was funny as all hell. So yeah, definitely adding to the comic collection, and definitely enjoyed getting a good haul of a bunch of sweet Ghost Rider stuff. So,
well, if there's any one book you ought to be picking up while you're there on the shop floor tomorrow, it's Turok the Dinosaur Hunter.
I can't remember if I saw any of those or not, but I think I actually did see some, because a lot of the guys are pretty good. They've got little labels in their fancier comics of like what everything is. And I think I actually did see some Turok somewhere on one of those things. Some of them boys are awful proud of their comics, though.
So there was one little bit of news that kind of popped up that I thought I would share with you guys.
Please don't tell me it's about DC's Ultimate line, which looks awful.
No, this is about the Eisner Awards.
Oh, DWJ winning the best writer for Transformers, as he should. You saw he got the extension too. Since you're not here, he got the extension for the series. He's going to do past 12. He's doing 13. He's on for 13. So my guess is
I heard
Kirkman must have
24.
talked him in. I hope it's 24. That would be good. That'd be best possible outcome. So.
Well, he had done an interview over on with like a notable Transformers account. I think it was like the Triple Changer podcast, and on there he basically revealed that he's basically on through like 24.
Good, that's good. So he got talked into doing more. Wow, that's good. That's really good. So we're gonna get 2 years of him on Transformers. Nowadays, that's beyond an accomplishment. Yeah, right. That's an accomplishment. So, thank you, Dan. I know he's usually the guy who, on average, like a Mark Miller does, like 6 issues of something. So I will be happy and I will take it. So I'm hoping he does the pencils himself on the last arc to bring it full circle to his closing end. But we'll see. That could be just wishful thinking. But well, dudes, I think that's it for tonight. As we always say, you leave it with, there's still a big audience and you leave them wanting more. And that tonight is no exception to the rule. And there's still quite a big crowd here, probably even more than when we started. Thank you, by the way. Thank you guys for your member chats and your super chats. Greatly appreciated. I'm going to post it one more time for you guys. I did a review for Nemesis Rogues Gallery. Do check it out if you haven't. So I'll post that in the chat for you guys to check that out after the show. And it is spoiler free, so it doesn't go with spoilers, because I want people to have reasons to check it out. And yes, we do want to keep it fun and real. And commenting is dangerous. $5 says Epic Mike from G&G is a big comic nerd. He said he would come on here if asked. You guys should talk to him. It would be a lot of fun. I'm gonna message him tonight. I actually know him. We do follow each other on Facebook. Sorry, not Facebook. On Insta and Twix. So I will reach out to him.
Yeah, there's a
commenting.
There's a few of the Geeks and Gamers guys who I do want to reach out and talk with. Like I want to reach out to Erudai from the Geeks and Gamers tabletop channel.
Okay. And
I'd like to stream with him sometime to do a little to talk about some of that stuff. So
if you need an inroad, let me know.
I mean, I've shot him a message. I've asked if he'd be willing to, but but I haven't got a response back. So that's a matter of it. Okay. Maybe it got lost in the shuffle, or it just I'll give it time.
Does he follow you on any of the social medias?
I don't think he does.
Then he probably would never see your message. Then, are you
That
in?
makes
Are you
sense.
in the Geeks and Gamers Discord?
I think so. Let
Okay,
me.
Geeks and Gamers tabletop Discord, maybe. Like I said, if he doesn't
yeah,
reply to
I'm
you,
on
just
there.
let me know. Yeah, let me know. If he doesn't reply to you, let me know. I'll reach out to him.
All right.
Where did I answer my
To
messages?
the people who I've seen comment here for
Thank
the
you.
first time, it's good to know there's more of you out there. It's always awesome. And to the ones who are still lurking, thank you. To our loyal ones who are always commenting, thank you. To the ones who are here when they can, thank you. Guys, your time is always appreciated. So I appreciate that. And we want to keep it fun. And it's always good to talk classic comics like we did last week with Fantastic Four #1. Tonight with Wolverine Weapon X. And
I got
once again,
through that in the background, by the way. That was really fucking good.
yo,
It's really
smart
fucking
man, yo. I'll come. Yeah, we'll definitely. I know in September we'll do another poll between Hawk and Superior to decide. Maybe we'll do another poll again. I'll figure it out. How we want to go about that. We'll be on here next week, of course. Have another show. It's gonna be great and diabolical. But guys, this is the part where we have to call it a night, and we're gonna plug our plugs on the way out, and we'll start off with the astounding common nerd who just show off his amazing haul. Sir, plug out.
You're muted.
Yeah, if you haven't already, make sure you come subscribe to my new YouTube channel, The Common Nerds. The old one got nuked if you hadn't heard for whatever reason. We just crossed 900 subscribers on the new one. We are racing our way towards 1,000 subscribers again for the second time around. So it looks like we're going to beat our record of 10 months last time. I'm hoping to have it happen by the end of July. We'll see how that works. We're cranking out content like nobody's business right now. Sorry. So definitely come check that stuff out. I'll have more videos coming out over the weekend as well. Obviously, like I said earlier, we'll be live streaming from Comic-Con tomorrow, from Corpus Christi Comic-Con tomorrow. So we'll be looking out for more of that stuff. There's a bunch of people there tomorrow. The original creator of the original guy behind the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies from the 90s. The first one and the second one is there. He's giving away free stuff, so I'll probably get some of that from him tomorrow, get pictures and all that kind of stuff. Lou Ferrigno's there. Timothy Zahn's there. There's a whole bunch of folks that are there. So definitely come check out the live stream tomorrow. Come hit that notification bell over there because we'll be probably going live. We'll definitely be going live tomorrow and probably Saturday or Sunday as well for a little bit. And then Sunday, we've got the Bible study at some point. And then, of course, 7 p.m., we've got When Who Was Good for Doctor Who. And then Monday through Friday, Joe's Atmosphere. Thank you for the new subscription. We've got Sunday at 7 p.m. We've got When Who Was Good. So anybody out there that is a fan of Doctor Who and hates what they've done to it in the modern era, come hang out with us on Sunday nights. Why me, Mr. Grant Gregory, and our dear sweet Sunker Maiden. And if any of you like toxic females, you're going to love Sunker. Review When Who Was Good, which is an absolutely wonderful and fabulous time. And we really do have a good time over there. And we've got a great intro. We have a super catchy and snazzy intro that will get caught in your head. So if nothing else, come over and check that out. But yeah. I'll be live from Corpus Christi Comic-Con tomorrow, so come check us out. We got a bunch of cool people that'll be there, and I will be hunting comics with all of you. So tell me what to get because I am just your common nerd, and I'm a comic normie. So tell me what's good, what's bad, and what I should get, and come hang out with us tomorrow. So thank you, Nick. Sorry I was late, but hey, I got to bring up next because that was dope, and can't wait for next week. This is awesome. Love you guys, especially all of you out there in the chat. You guys are amazing. Thank you, Nick.
My pleasure, man. You have a fantastic evening, weekend. Enjoy the con. I'll try to catch it, whether I'm lurking or commenting. I'll definitely try to catch it because I look forward to seeing what your gets are. So until next time, Sir Pablo.
Okay, seems like the theme today is boomerang. Midnight Español. More videos coming to Midnight Sage. One of them actually was doing instead of sleeping to celebrate my birthday. So yeah, that one is a really, really interesting video. You know why? Because sometimes some companies are so goddamn dumb that they go and piss off the Japanese. And when you piss off the Japanese, you know you fucked up. Mm-hmm. So good job, Ubisoft. That video is coming, I think, tomorrow. So stay tuned. Also, dude, It has been a crazy week, but it has been a fruitful week. I got the chance to watch a movie that I actually did enjoy. I had the chance to buy some Magic the Gathering cards that I didn't even knew I will be able to get, and hopefully they will get on time because if not, my best friend is flying the very next day. It's a tight cap, but I trust UPS. I should, right? Right? Right?
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, Pablo. Thanks for being here, bud. I'm glad you enjoyed Deadpool Wolverine.
Brother.
Merry birthmas to you, sir. Okay. Great
Hell
to hang
yeah.
out with you as always. Always great to talk classic comics, and let's keep on staying optimistic about the future and have a great weekend. And another Merry birthmas to the Iron Caster.
Happy birthday, my birthday brother.
Hell yeah. Happy birthday, brother.
Folks, you can find me over on Ironcaster, where I will sometimes talk about big robots, such as your Transformers, your Ultramans, your Kamen Riders, all that kind of fun Japanese kind of tokusatsu type stuff, and where we just want to have a little bit of fun. So give me a subscribe, come on by, and let's keep things positive. Like the fact that apparently Transformers over Comic-Con just announced that, or Hasbro announced that they are doing a collaboration with Knight Rider. So we are getting a Knight Rider Transformer crossover, which is something I actually had reported on, months back. So I'm happy to see that, some of my reporting is coming true.
Yeah.
You can find me all over the internet. I'll be on with T-shirt Historian tomorrow for the Weekend Geek, where we will no doubt be talk about Wizards of the Coast, because for all the good stuff that Hasbro might do on occasion, Wizards of the Coast sure loves to poo-poo on the fans. Such as apparently they're going all in on they're basically going all in on a lot of the AI and video game stuff for like D&D.
Also, Bloomborough, they are fucking it up. It's the most expected set of the year. Stop. Just stop.
Wait, Joe, your birthday was yesterday too?
Nice.
Dude, there's 3 of us now. This is crazy.
Hell yeah.
So the other big thing I have coming up this week is on Tuesday is Talk Hard, where we will be celebrating our 100th stream for talking movies, and we're gonna celebrate the fact that Halo's over.
Oh,
Wait, it's over?
Yeah, they canceled Halo after season 2.
Yeah, they finally canceled it. Supposedly they're shopping it around to other places, but that fucking show ain't ever coming back.
Wow, I can't wait for that thing to never come back.
Steven, here, real quick, let me show you this, Steven. I'll probably talk a little bit more of this on Monday, but just to show you what I'm talking about, this is just revealed today.
Wow.
What
We the fuck?
That's awesome.
Wow. Look at that wonderful toy.
Wait, the packaging, is there... Okay, they are doing retro packaging now?
Yes.
Good, because the
Right.
current packaging for Transformers suck, but this era of packaging of the full box with... they didn't even tie the figure, really. It didn't break, so I guess they were doing it right. Yeah. It was great.
Yes.
It was absolutely great.
Nav, this is Knight Rider as an Autobot, but we're calling him Agent Knight. So yeah, guys, if you're a fan of Knight Rider and you also like Transformers, good news, folks. It's not all doom and gloom out in the world, so we can get some fun things now and then.
That's right. Oh, look, Nav Shergel is here too. Yeah. Hell yeah. Well, Caster, thank you for your contagiousness of greatness and positive energy for the show as well.
Oh, and while I'm
Go
at
ahead.
it, let me drop a link to the folks in chat, because I do have a Discord, and I really want to sit down and, kind of keep a little bit more of the positive momentum going, and, maybe run some D&D, maybe run some tabletop role-playing games, and, hell, help foster another little positive corner in the internet to nerd
I
out.
like that.
So
I like that a lot. You
come
keep
on
that
by
goal
and
right
grab
there.
your G20s.
Right there. Right there. There you go. Okay. One more time. Nemesis Rogues Gallery review, issue number 1, spoiler free. So no complaints. Okay. Toxic Tuesday. We'll be back in under 2 weeks talking Josie Wales for the first episode of Western Month. So I can't wait to do that. And of course, we'll be back here next week. Well, for another episode of the Shopping Open for Business. And we're talking about the outlaw Josie Wales. So good old classic Western for Western Month. And yes, commenting, you will see that awesome, sweet Hanna-Barbera shirt next week. So it's going to be diabolically huge. But until then, guys, you all have a fantastic weekend. But this is the part where we say goodbye and good night. So thank you.